Throughout human history, poets have been a community that shares their work in a variety of ways, and today they have even more resources to use as they gain access to emerging technologies. No longer limited to pen and paper, poets are using technology to create and disseminate their art, sometimes in unexpected ways. One use of the internet that could be considered common today is creating personal blogs, a term taken from weblog according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Blogs are personal websites where people can share their own thoughts and ideas. Poets naturally gravitated toward this medium due to its accessibility, and today there are many poets, like Malcolm Guite, sharing their work on blog hosting sites like WordPress.com. Also, groups of poets may have blogs hosted on other sites like Zoe Glossia, a site specifically for disabled poets. Another way the poet community is using technology to share their work and the work of other poets is through the YouTube platform. A simple search for poetry on YouTube will deliver a list of videos devoted to the subject, with channel names like A Poetry Channel, and recital videos by poets of all ages and levels of experience. Social media is another ever-changing technology that poets have access to for both gathering information and sharing it in their work. Facebook has many groups for poets, such as Poetry for the Soul or Just Poetry and Arts, and Instagram is also a common platform for poets to use, particularly with its emphasis on imagery. Poetry is not a luxury, and the Poet Society of New York are just a couple examples. The reality is that almost every poetry group or organization will have both an Instagram and a Facebook page. The internet has become a place where poets from all over the world can gain both information and inspiration, while expanding their ability to share their work and spread their influence. Websites, like TED.com, are particularly useful for this purpose. A quick search for poetry there delivers a wealth of poets sharing about their work and giving words of inspiration, like Keenan Scott II and Amanda Gorman. Every organization, association, group, or gathering tends to have an online presence, including organizations like the Poetry Foundation and the Academy of American Poets, which are very popular and important sites for poets and those who love poetry. Even smaller, more regionally known places, like the Poets House in New York, have sites full of info about poetry, workshops, and other things necessary for the community. Poets are also taking advantage of online spaces to offer workshops and other educational opportunities to people interested in learning more about their craft. The well-known websites like the Poetry Foundation and Academy of American Poets often share info about seminars and workshops, but other sites like Literary Arts also promote them. In fact, Literary Arts is currently highlighting a virtual workshop about found poetry that will be taught by Thea Matthews and begins in mid-June. Virtual workshops like these have become a normal part of the community's education and income in recent years. A possibly more unexpected use of emerging technologies was revealed during a variety of interviews of poets that the Rabbit Room did in 2023. They were asking poets how they found time to write in their busy lives, and surprisingly, or maybe not so surprisingly, many of them brought up the fact that they would use their phones to jot down lines and record thoughts or words throughout the day that they knew they wanted to explore further when they had more time. Some mentioned tapping out the lines in a text note, others made quick audio recordings, but the use of a mobile phone for keeping track of their inspiration and information was a frequent response. More surprisingly, the poets have found ways to use the emerging tech of 3D printing in their community as well. They have found 3D printers to be particularly useful in exploring poetry with young people in the education field. In her 2024 article, Poetry in Makerspace, published on the #TeachLivingPoets site, Jenny Brueswitz says, after students have analyzed a poem's text structure, theme, and language, students will plan, create, and troubleshoot with technology. It all comes together when they analyze elements of their physical representation. The article goes on to make suggestions. The 3D printing could be a bracelet with a favorite word or line from a poem that captures the mind, or a printout of an image in it. It also suggests other ideas like jewelry or magnets. The only limitations are supplies and imagination. A final, possibly more controversial emerging technology related to this poet community is the advent of AI use for writing. For instance, Grammarly has a, quote, free AI poem generator, unquote, that gives you the option of entering a theme, and then goes from there to design a poem. Grammarly promotes it as a way to express yourself with AI-generated poetry. Crafting the perfect poem is no longer a challenge. With an AI poem generator, you can create unique, meaningful, and expressive poetry in seconds, tailored to any theme, mood, or occasion. Whether this is simply another tool for poets or an incursion into the purity of their process is a matter of opinion. As AI is still a new influence within the community, its usefulness and impact remains to be seen. In today's world of ever-changing technology, poets are taking advantage of the many ways they can share their work and foster information collaboration in their community. Emerging technologies are an important part of their community life, and there will always be room for new ways to use it in their creative pursuits.